are live. This is Growlersations episode 20. This is the big 20. I'm pretty excited about that. Jeff's going to start pouring us up some beers. That is Army of Frogs. You going to do that one first. We're going to start out big with a all Summit Hop double IPA, dropping an 8.4% ABV bomb on our 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We hope that you're cracking a beer with us. I'm Sam Wynn. This is my buddy Jeff Fryman, and Jason Burt here is joining us of Medicine Man Revival and many other things. You've got a lot going on in your life, so I can't wait to hear more about it. And welcome to Growlersations. Geez, usually that's my job, slamming one while someone else is talking.
Jesus Christ!
Let's get it popping, guys.
Yeah, get it popping indeed.
Go with the lighter stuff next time.
Hey, we got a lighter thing to coast through the end of, so don't worry. That was
Please don't
strong.
do that.
Yeah.
That was all I needed.
Yeah, no, we needed
Loosening
a
up.
nihilist. We should have
That
given
was
him a
amazing.
nihilist. Here, you take that one. Give him a nihilist there.
Listen, I don't care what you give me. I'm good now. Had to loosen up. You guys are
was
pretty
amazing.
uptight around here.
So, yeah, absolutely.
I've been sitting here in silence waiting for this thing to get going.
So tell us about Medicine Man Revival. What are you doing with your project?
Okay, Medicine Man Revival. It's me and Keat Young. Everybody knows Keat, right? He's been around forever. He's the straight boss OG. Met him about 5 years ago, 2 years ago. This is like the short and quick, but
Yeah.
to get us up to date. Met him through the music scene, played a couple shows opening for him. They had their thing going. It was amazing. And then we had the opportunity to like kind of just bust in the studio because I have Modern Electric that I kind of have as a home base. We were smoking some weed in his van, chilling out,
Yeehaw.
showing some tracks, doing our thing. And then I was like, let's get in the studio. He was like, let's get in the studio. And we went in, and then like literally within, this was like a Tuesday to Friday. Friday we're in the studio. Saturday we have a track done. It was like insane shit,
Just
right? Like
just coming out of you.
like here, want a blessing? Have it.
Here
Take
it is.
it. Run with it. Like
Yeah.
that's how it felt, right? Like you're just like, you meet somebody. Even it's almost like love, dude. You
Yeah.
form a relationship in immediacy, and then you're like, well,
What's with you guys?
chug up, bud. No one
Set
says
the
a word
time.
until you drink it. No, like that's exactly what happened though. I mean, and so then we had a couple tracks and we started going. This is August of 2016, dude. Can you believe that? It seems insane, but that's like a year and
bad drink.
8 months, I guess. We've been building and becoming ourselves. Honestly, without Medicine Man, y'all probably wouldn't even fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, listen, I'm not saying that I credit anything that I've done to it, but I say that everything that I've done in the last 2 years has been as a funnel from Medicine Man.
Yeah. Okay.
He was the first project that people really started putting eyes on what we're doing, and same for him, man. Shit, like we got the chance to broaden our platform like immediately by joining forces, you
Yeah.
know. And so now, flash forward to 2018, we've got this project and all the grits and all the gents, like the two biggest music communities for real, that are like doing studio work, which is like what I
Yeah.
fuck with, right? Like not like the indie shit, not the underground shit, not saying like any way bigger or different than that, just like studio shit. That's what we fuck with, right? We're all in the studio all the time. The gents, the grits,
Yeah.
whether it's with Snoop Dogg or fucking Reba McEntire or some crazy shit the gents are with, right? Like they do everything.
Making it sound badass
And so
polished.
now here we are, and that's what I like to do, man. Like I like that. Now it's 2018, and we're doing this Dijon Pump shit, which is like our most recent like endeavor, our campaign. Like we got in the studio together with the gents and the grits. Anton checking. Hot. Are we good? I don't know what to do with my hands. Am I loud enough?
Hey, drink with your
Okay,
hand.
side script back. Okay. Yeah. Ta-ta. Check. Check. All right. Okay. Sorry. It's too good. It's too good.
It's okay.
It's too good.
So you know we're live. Unedited. This is proof.
And we've now funneled ourselves into like a campaign that's describing that. The Dijon Pump. That's our show this Saturday at the Granada. It's a collaboration between the Grits and the Gentlemen. The Grits play with Erykah Badu. RC is with Snoop and Robert Glasper, and just like he's with everybody. I couldn't even start. And the Gents, again, from fucking George Strait to Chris Christopherson, dude.
And so just for people watching, because all these people are watching,
Yeah.
Gents are Texas Gentlemen,
Yes.
Yeah.
Texas
and then
Gentlemen.
Grits is
RC and the Grits.
RC
All
and the
right,
Grits.
sweet.
Yeah. Now, exactly. You know how long that would take to say each time? The Texas Gentlemen.
Oh,
and
no,
RC?
we're doing
No, I
it.
know,
I'm
I
sure
know, I know.
Yeah.
It would be like this run-on sentence of like their
No,
name.
I'm just making sure.
And so now we have built this track to kind of make a zeitgeist of the whole idea.
Yeah.
We made our whole record and we're sitting on it, and we're gonna like do the whole industry thing by like shopping it and shit, but
Yeah.
we have to build our platform higher, so we've kind of gone in reverse, which is crazy with the music industry the way it is. Like usually you put out a record and then you tour the record and then you try to get a deal. We're like had this record and we're just like out here playing and dropping singles. Like who wants to like come look at our record,
You're doing a Wu-Tang
right?
Golden album style.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
we have one.
Exactly.
Who wants to listen to it?
Exactly. We're just gonna fucking hold it behind everybody until like we find the right time to drop it. But
Yo,
we
Bill Murray,
spent.
you want to buy this shit?
Yeah, exactly. What's up, RZA? What's up, Dre? What's up, Jay-Z? Where y'all at?
Hey fellas, what's going on?
Exactly, man. So it's been an insane ride, and I feel like actually, serendipitously, in a
works.
serendipitous
That works.
way, it's coming to a great point this weekend for
Yeah.
our show. We've got the Granada. Mike hit me up and was like, hey, I want to do something on Cinco de Mayo, and I was like, this was like 2 months ago. I was like,
Yeah.
on my phone, if the Grits and the Gents are here, the Medicine Man has always wanted to do a show where like they're all behind us.
Yeah.
Not because we want to be the forefront of it, but because like that's the city.
Yeah.
That's the whole city
Dude, that's
of
dope.
like the best players, and it's not it's not my opinion, dude. It is fact. Like
Yeah.
as far as recording shit goes,
It'll
again,
be like Snarky Puppy up there, but like different music.
those
Just like
guys
that
are
many-
from
that-
Snarky,
that
and
many-
those
that- I'm
guys,
just- I'm talking
yeah,
about
that
14
will be that many
14
people.
14
It will be that
people
many
up on
people.
stage,
It's gonna be
like,
insane.
Just like having a good time making
For the
making
track,
music.
dude, the list of people that played on it, like, we spent time when we produced it to like make sure that like Nick Lee plays guitar and his guitar sits right here, and then Nigel plays bass. Like it's
Yeah.
like, and then the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Synth 1, synth 2, piano, Rhodes. You know, like there's a portion for each little thing that we
That's
like
sweet.
set aside. Just
Yeah.
like Snarky Puppy would, right? Like there's space for everyone, and like in my mind, I just see all those people standing there, right?
Yeah.
You know, like,
For
okay,
sure.
you're gonna stand over here on the stage, and you're gonna, you know, and then they go murder it way harder than I could, but like that's how I see it, right? Like as a
you
producer,
go.
I'm like, you're standing here
It's like
and
a
you're
Sgt.
smashing
Pepper's
the
album.
fuck out of this.
Sgt. Pepper's album.
Yeah,
cover.
exactly. Mhm. That's exactly it. Exactly it. That's perfect. That's a perfect reference. And if I could only get him to dress like that.
Yeah. Here's how I got costumes right
Oh
now.
my
Here-
God.
Here you go. I have your. So there's an artist. I wish I was good enough to be able to remember this artist's name, but there's an artist that does
The Beatles.
contracted.
There's the
Paul McCartney. God. No, there's an
Dude,
artist.
Ozzy Osbourne.
There's an artist that does paintings, like oil paint style paintings on canvas, and I forget if it's a he or a she. Something makes me think it's a she. She paints your dream funeral, like your ideal funeral. If you died and you could have everybody come and
Yeah.
attend your funeral that was influential
Oh,
to you
shit,
in
yeah.
your personal life, or maybe even like
Beyond.
famous people you
Oh,
never
yeah,
met,
yeah.
people that had died. You like
Oh,
it starts as an interview, and the artist comes and you sit down and you talk about things that you love and people that mean the world to you, and she does custom paintings
Whoa.
of your funeral, and it's like a 6 foot
like the
hole in the
Beatles-
ground
like the
and
Beatles
everybody
album.
that you ever
Thought was cool.
respected
Wow.
is in the background. One of my buddies, Christian Petrie, who you know, who comes up from time to time on these things, he like contracted one. He had the lady come.
That's
and,
pretty sweet.
Wow.
Did his,
It
like,
is actually really
funeral
sweet.
painting. So I don't know, weird kind of segue.
Same thing.
From
That's
that,
no,
but-
that's not a. It's not a weird segue. I
So
feel like
who would be
that's
in
how
your
I
funeral
choose the
picture?
band.
Yeah.
And also, I have two things to add to that. Like,
Good. Write it down.
with each thing that artists do, it's kind of life or death like that, dude. And if you care, really, and I know I'm still speaking in medicine man terms, which means like me and Key, like we care about who's going to be at our funeral, but at the same time, we also care about like lifting up the people who should be there, right? These are the best players, and not only that, every single person that worked on that track, dude, is salt of the earth human.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, we like him, he plays on our shit because he's cool, and then we have to deal with his shit.
Yeah.
Nah. It's like, these are like OG, triple OG, quadruple OG shit. Like,
Yeah.
Nigel, Tayron Lockett, who plays with Corey Henry, like, they treat you like royalty. And, they're people I want to see at my funeral. Someone said it's not about worrying about how much money's in your bank account, it's worrying about how many people are coming to your funeral, and then you'll get the money in your bank account. Like, seriously, if you were worried about who's going to come to your funeral,
Yeah.
like, if I made a big enough impression on you that you, like, took off work on a Saturday to come to my funeral after just meeting you right here, like, there's people out there that have that skill. Those are the Gandhis and Jesus Christ, right? Like, that you're like, oh, fuck, his energy, it hit me so hard that, like, I haven't talked to him in 6 years, and I heard he passed away, and I'm going to drive 3 hours to go to his funeral. Like, I've known people like that.
Well, yeah, I've been in overflow rooms for funerals before.
That kind
where
of shit,
there's, like,
that kind
wasn't
of,
enough room for
that kind of shit is where it's at, and that's the kind of relationship that we're all building. And maybe in some weird way, that's like what the ether gave you in that situation. Like, death is life in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, these people mean the world to me. I go out and, like, if any of them called me and asked me to borrow money or to drive across town or text me right now, like, dude, I have a situation, I'd be gone for all of them. And I'm 98% sure that they're the same way with me. And only 2% is just the fact that I'm a human being, you know? And, like, life.
What's your dad's name?
Carl.
All right.
Yeah.
I felt like we were brothers.
Right on.
Yeah, maybe we are. Maybe we are, dude. That's insane. Like,
Weird shit, dude.
yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, dude. I'm glad you feel that. That's important to me, man. Like, and in all this growth, it really is that. Like, I've been accused of doing things for money before, and it's hilarity to me, you know, or it's for the community till I'm dead.
I just got back from Terlingua, Texas, and I feel like what you're talking about, the being communities that like live and die for each other. Deep Pelham is one that we share together. I'm not in your like top 12 like music gang here.
You're not in my MySpace 8.
But if you like,
you might be, dude.
if you needed,
Let me check.
if you needed a body buried, I might be be on that list.
Thank
top,
God.
top 20, 25 maybe.
Talk about. That's a different list, my dude.
Everything has like a community, and we have one. You're speaking of one. I just got back from Terlingua, Texas, and the community out there is like kind of the same way. There's like everybody really relies on each other in the old school way. Like you think about Wild West, like small town things where everybody has a role, and that's like the way that it works.
Like, remember
That
when
was,
character
like,
mattered?
seeing that.
Not like words on paper, like character.
For sure.
Like, if you were the hero of the town, like, you might have busted someone up in an alley, and it's like, I almost believe in that more than like words on paper. Like,
that's why you used to kick someone's ass for talking shit about you.
yeah, don't talk
because
shit,
that was
because
that
my
was the most
reputation is
important
so
thing.
strong that I can whoop your fucking ass right here, and your dumb friends aren't gonna go form a media campaign against me. Like, we're in this small town, and you're acting a dick, so just
Let's go
and then it's
stand
not-
out in the street.
Yeah,
and
like
draw.
that's why we work so hard. Why work hard for our reputation unless we can bend it every once in a while? You know, like. That's so true.
And music and restaurants, bars, breweries, like Jeff and I are involved in, they kind of have that in common where, you kind of have to be a part of, like, who you are as an individual can't be separate from what you are as a business. You know, like you have to live
Not
it.
anymore.
You
Yeah.
have to live it. You have to go out there and do it. You have to be about that lifestyle. And that's something that, you know, Jeff and I try real hard to do is, you know, be about that lifestyle and live it all the time.
All about
And,
that lifestyle.
It is so
Yeah, but, you
it
know,
is
it's
so
like, but
immediate. Like
we're-
you couldn't
yeah.
go to your show and dress up like blah blah blah.
People
and
come to
then,
my restaurant to support me as a friend, the same way people come to your shows and to support you as a friend. Not saying my food's not good or your music's not good.
no,
Not saying
no,
that, that's
and
why.
that's how it works
Yeah.
until everyone knows that your stuff is the shit, and then everyone just follows along, right? Like it starts with a core group, and then your core group
until you're
convinces
not.
enough. Like all your core groups are A's, and their A's all walk around, right? And then they convince some B's, and then it's a giant Ponzi scheme. We're just crushing it, right? Like, and then the B's convince the C's, and once you get to like to the fifth dimension of that, and like the A's are like, "Are you still my friend?" You know, like, yeah, we are. And then it's once it breaches that, and then it becomes like common thought, right? Like your restaurant is like all your friends, and then there's like a second layer of people that you don't know as well, right? Like the acquaintances that you have, and then a third layer of like someone you met once, and the fourth layer of people you've never met, and
Saturday
the fifth layer,
crowd.
exactly, and then it just keeps going, and the only way to like do that is for like the A people to be like sold out on your ass, right? Like they're like, that dude, or that fucking sandwich, that beer. It's my favorite fucking beer. Not even just like, that beer's good. Like, the dude's like, oh, this beer, it tastes like this beer from where I go, you know? And then it's like, 10 people in the room hear that, and then they go and they're like, wow, that beer was good. And they become an E, and then they come in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it goes out and out. And then when an A meets an F, it's like, and then the F becomes a B. You know, like literally, they just jumped a line. They're like, oh shit, I thought that shit was good, and now this dude who's like had me resold on it, and you just spin your web out. You're just
And
like,
people in different circles supporting each other. You know,
Oh, yeah.
you did the your off the record gig. You catered some bowls and tacos there, and
Oh, yeah, dude.
I hooked you up with the homie price because you were dishing out free tacos at your DJ set. So you know,
That-
everybody's trying to help each other out and spread the good word about other people's stuff. You know.
it was crazy too. That I would keep that going, but I was like,
Oh no.
no. The reason is I bought 50 tacos and they were gone like. Bro, I was like, I had to buy fucking 300 tacos, bro. That's like seriously, they disappeared so fast. It was like. We started at 10. I picked them up at 10 when y'all closed. I dropped them off. I started doing my thing. I'm like setting up. It's like 11:15, and I go back where like all the tacos were to clean up. And I'm like, there's 2 tacos left for me. I'd have to have 300 tacos to make it work.
Y'all ready for this? I'm about to have a talk.
That's seriously, by the time I was ready to announce free tacos was gone.
Yeah.
And that's like not the fucking place you want to go. It's like, hey, come to my shit's free tacos, and then you show up to like this like thing, and there's like a empty
foil.
buffet of foil. How many tacos did you buy, big guy? Like, I bought 50. I thought I was doing good. I was
This place
wrong.
is popping.
Turns out people are,
Get here early.
people eat 5 tacos.
People at bars without food are hungry.
Yeah. Turns out, holy shit, free tacos work.
Yeah, I catered a party the other day, and they said it was for 250 people. And we get there, and we cater the party, and it was 250 like warehouse workers and truck drivers. Like it was 300 pounds was like the average weight of the person. I was like, hey, you gotta let people know that you're catering.
We're catering a party to all of the offensive linemen in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Say the word.
Yeah, just say the
was
word.
at
I know
Break
how
and
many
Clutch.
tacos I ate. 30.
I'm looking at getting
Crunch
married.
tacos.
I looked at Break and Clutch for a potential wedding venue for my nuptials, and they had just done a lunch that Pecan Lodge catered for the top 25 athletes in the draft, in the NFL draft. We're like in there, like eating Pecan Lodge at a private little meal. It was funny. The whole catering world is a weird little.
It is
weird little thing. Well, tell us about Off the Record and your Tuesday night residency, I guess we can call it over there.
Yeah, it's
Talk about-
definitely a residency.
It's been blowing up lately.
It has been. It's been doing cool. I think that's like an easy subject, right? It's like it's dismissible in the fact that it's like we're just we're just trying to bring our culture to the bar, right? I mean, in the easiest way, it's just like kind of, it's me and my close friends. You can catch us there, right? Just like Blue and Christy and all the DJs that are doing well. I don't. By the way, God, couldn't even put my name in there. In the same sentence as them, they're actual real DJs. I've come from behind to like have a position as a DJ, but in no way did I ever like grow up with that mentality. So it's the same as like anything, right? You don't want to breach on their culture because they've been DJing forever, and I'm just kind of like, I'm an F, right? I'm coming up to try to figure it out, like, yeah, exactly, trying to figure it out. But I've been lucky enough to be blessed with like a nice platform. That all came from the Belmont, man. I feel like, I don't know if you know about that. We threw this party. Cheers to you, man. Cheers, dude. Cheers, Jeff. Last year, at the Belmont Hotel with Matt Brinston, who we all know, right?
Yeah, Merle's right. There's a piece of his heart hanging on the
Everybody
wall
knows
right
Matt
behind the
Brinston,
building.
right? Okay, checking. All right, but we threw this like combined party
I think
where
Instagram is Matthew Brinston.
Yeah,
if
that's
you want
it.
to check it out on Instagram, he's one of the like leading up and coming artists of our community, doing a lot of really cool stuff, but really starting to like make a name for himself in the art world beyond the people that we were talking about, that beyond the A's and the B's that we were just saying to reference earlier.
Super thick. He showed up last night to Off the Record, brought a big ass canvas, did not tell me, just showed up, walked in, put it up against my DJ shit, and like clipped it to a thing. Just walked in. I'm like, oh, he's gonna draw tonight and probably give away. That seems normal as fuck. Like he'll draw some shit on a big ass canvas and then just turn around and whoever is standing there, he'll give it to him for free. That's the culture that I'm blessed enough to be a part of. Like Matt, as far as art is concerned, he's my favorite. I don't know if he's the best. What's the difference? I don't know. But he's my favorite, and like we have a birthday party coming up too, May 10th, dude. May 10th. You got to come to that. Me and Matt have a conjoined birthday party that we're throwing at his loft, and anybody under the sound of my voice.
Someday, Simba.
Yeah, exactly.
The address is
9 something Pervia. Anyways, but it's just a way to express our culture. Just like the sick thing about Off the Record, and Moody like cultivated this. I think he had to be like the guy. Like Mondays, New Math Mondays with JT Donaldson.
It's all math metal.
No, it's like New Math Mondays. Like, I love this bar. Yeah, exactly. And the DJ's like, I don't know why they call it that. It always worked for me. And like, then there's like actually a teacher who's like, "This is the note. It's math.
Yeah.
Welcome to math." Right. It's too funny to us. It's not funny to anybody else in the world. Okay, that's Monday night. That's JT Donaldson and his crew. They're called Dolphin Records. They have they put out they kill the fuck out of it. Tuesday's my shit, which is hot sauce, and it's my crew. And then Wednesday is Blue and his crew. It's 3 nights in a row. The beginning of the week nailed in with fucking like 3 totally different crews.
Might I say the most 3 Deep Ellum nights there are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right. That's all that's left.
If there's a day to come and
that's all
celebrate
that's
this
left for
neighborhood, it's
us.
those days,
Like
man.
and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like when the Deep Ellum crew is in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday,
high
Friday.
fives down the street.
Yeah,
like saying
exactly.
What's up? Secret handshakes. We're shaking.
We're going this
ankles,
way. You're
we're
going
doing
that
the
way.
fake
Then you're
this.
going this way. I'm going that way. I'll meet you in the alley for a HJ.
Yeah.
And I'm going this way. But yeah, I mean, those are the days we have left, and so thank God it's rich with actual culture, and then we'll leave the fucking Friday to stir and whatever the fuck.
Hey, 2 hours. Stir 2 hours.
Stir.
And Stir Park.
Do you roll it?
Stir Park Dare. Stir Park Dare is over there.
Stir.
Have you been to Stir?
We almost went in there, but we were super drunk, and it
Yeah.
was only just for fun. It would
Never
have
heard
been
of
fun. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's where they're all caged in over there.
Over there. It's in Deep Ellum?
I don't know what it is. Am I even talking about the right thing?
I don't even know anymore.
Stir. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
So, get it back on the rails here.
Damn.
I just think that place is funny.
Turns out you get drunk when you drink this beer. We're
Yeah,
doing pretty
it
good.
works. Yeah, pounding a double IPA.
Pounding a double IPA
coming
will
up.
do
I
it.
didn't even have the time to describe that it was a 100% Summit hop.
What do they
double
call
IPA.
it? What do they call it when it's like a super IPA? Like there's a
Imperial?
word. Imperial, yeah.
Yeah, you just took a 16
about
ounces
that.
of Imperial to the dome.
8
That's actually
point
2
four.
servings because one serving of that beer is 8 ounces. So
Yeah.
I had
you
2
did
servings and it's already. And how much is it?
You did a double beer bong of Army of
I
Frogs.
told him, I was like, let's not. I was like, we probably shouldn't do this, but let's do it. And then you fucking slammed that beer.
yeah, Jeff and I were intimidated by that beer, and then you chug it. So I was like, well, I guess I just
That
gotta-
is the ultimate.
Gotta
What
see
you
how
don't
that
know
works.
won't hurt you, dude.
Yeah, dude, you're doing
Yeah.
a great job.
Just naive and ignorant, dude. Drunk. Now I'm happy. See, that's
Yeah.
how life works too. I
Oh,
didn't know what the fuck was
Well,
gonna
that's
go
what
on.
Growlersations is all about. You know, I'm gonna take a second to kind of talk about what we're doing here with our thing is getting people together to drink a beer and reminding people that you don't have to have a plan and you don't have to have a whole bunch of things going on and your schedule doesn't have to be on your calendar.
Yeah.
When you call up somebody that's your friend or someone that you care about, like you can sit down and drink beer and you're gonna have a great fucking hour.
Yeah.
Just give you a little bit more.
And just the idea of
But
Even-
you know, it was like you didn't even ask questions. Usually when people are like, "Oh, Growlersations," they like, "Okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to prepare?" And blah blah blah. And I was like, "There's not. There's no."
yeah. I would never
You know,
ask
usually,
questions. I'm like,
usually I
Yeah.
just mispronounce the guest last
doing it
name
right.
because I call everybody by their first name.
what did you say? You didn't say shit to me about it.
Well,
You're
your
like,
name's Jason
what
Burt. There's
time?
no-
no,
there's no
I'm not like
mispronouncing
No,
that.
as far as like asking me about it, I was like, yeah.
Let us see
Yeah,
the,
you were in. I just
camera
most
see the
people.
weed.
Most
Going-
people get nervous.
No.
Most
You
people
want
get
that?
nervous, and most people get nervous and like, I don't know, what am I supposed to do? How are we going to fill 40 minutes? But you know what happens when the cameras start rolling. Just
Easy,
get out there and do
easy.
the shit.
And-
But what I was saying is, the point
Yeah.
is drinking beer, getting together, meeting with people face to face, and having some real life interactions and some conversations that
Yeah.
that happen. And when you get
Other
there
than
and you
these
don't
fucking
have a
lights.
plan, that's
Yeah.
where the best stuff actually comes from. So thanks for
Even if we could just
thanks for
all
joining us.
pretend that we're like in. So it changes like your status, right? When you know that you. Not like we have to perform right now, right? But we have to keep talking in some way, so it
Yeah.
puts energy.
Performing.
It puts a
You
certain
wanna be
energy on
silent
us, right?
For like 30 seconds?
No,
Just to,
no.
like, see what it feels
My
like.
point. Yeah. I waited. It's perfect timing. I waited till my breathing regulated.
It got uncomfortable there for a second.
The
Well, that's
point
why
is
I'm wearing
like
a basket.
when we force ourselves to talk, it's good because this is a generation where we can easily get preoccupied, especially by this. Like if anything didn't
I have this here.
right,
in
I
case
could
someone
just
asks a question.
no. I'm not blaming you. I'm just
Clayton-
saying in life, like
Clayton Hawthorne says, "Burt!" Exclamation point.
Burt!
you were like, oh, I don't like what's happening, or I don't know what's happening, or I don't have a response or an acute objective in the conversation.
Yeah.
I can pick this up and put it in front of my face and erase myself from y'all.
So,
Sure.
a fun little segue away from the phones with that regard is I quit smoking cigarettes a little over 3 years ago. And I had to like deal with that kind of break there for a
Yeah.
minute because part of a cigarette is kind of the same thing, the comfort that a cell phone provides is, I don't know what to do right now. I'm going to smoke a cigarette and then no one's going to fuck with me. And I don't look like an idiot just standing here.
Yeah.
And when I like to joke that when I
Oh,
quit
yeah.
smoking, I didn't stop going outside randomly and standing around for 5 minutes. Like that's still part of
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
3 years later, I still go and I'll just like mill about outside the front door of a bar for a couple minutes just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I didn't quit that
You
part.
need a social.
Yeah.
You need a social break.
But
which is
also
healthy
the same
too.
thing with putting down my cell phone was kind of one of the same things with putting down that cigarette and learning how to like occupy my hands and how to like be comfortable in my own skin and have that like moment
Yeah.
and like walk out to a group of smokers, and I love it. It's now a thing that I embrace. I walk out to a group of smokers like, hey guys, what's happening? I'm not gonna smoke. I quit a couple years ago, but I still go stand outside and talk to strangers. I still go talk to strangers for 5 minutes every couple hours.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like a really important part of smoking. Malcolm Gladwell said that it's not that smoking is cool; it's that smokers are cool.
Yeah.
And just like that's just something that kind of comes. with
Was it Malcolm
sweet.
Gladwell or Osho that said you can't quit, you have to like relieve yourself, you have to drop instead of quit?
Yeah.
It was either Malcolm or Osho. I read some.
I took 2 packs of cigarettes and some LSD, and I went to Windstar and I said goodbye to cigarettes and I left them.
And
there.
some LSD.
Yeah, and I had a
Amazing.
spirit voyage and I smoked fucking 40 cigarettes that night and I gambled and I said goodbye to every single one.
That's cool.
You know,
that's a
it's just
bon
like
voyage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was ready to let it loose from my life, so I did.
That's amazing.
Man, they're so good.
I've
though.
never had
They're
to quit.
fucking great.
I've never quit anything.
Yeah.
Like I've never had to. I've had to, like the closest, like I've broken up. You know, like I've split relationships, but
Yeah.
like as far as a habit, I've always like tried to like choose the balance over release thing.
Yeah.
Like as far as you can imagine, right? Like I'm not gonna quit that, but I'm gonna do it less.
But that's when you quit, is when you realize you have no control over that. I'm going to take a page out of the AA's playbook and
Yeah.
say, look, like, when I realized I needed to quit smoking was when I was smoking in my living room, I was watching House of Cards, and they'd have those sexy cigarettes in the window, you know? Did you ever
Yeah.
watch House of Cards?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They'd have
And
those
same with
sexy,
the.
and I would smoke cigarettes in my living room by myself.
What's
and
the
watch
badass
that.
show where they always like
I lost
the.
control. I lost
sounds
control.
awesome.
That was when cigarettes beat me. So I had to admit that cigarettes were more powerful than me, and I had to move along.
So, thank you, cigarettes.
You guys want to smoke this? But also the other day I was walking in somewhere, and I do smoke weed still. I don't do the cigarettes. But I was like,
We know
man,
that's illegal. in
I
Texas.
wish
They-
I went only in Colorado or California.
Yeah, he only smokes weed there.
I smoke weed wherever the fuck I want to.
But the other day I was headed somewhere and I was like, man, I really wish I could smoke a joint that wouldn't get me high right now. Like I actually I had that thought. I was like, man, I wish I could smoke some weed and not get high. And I was like, oh wait,
That
that's
feeling?
what a cigarette is.
Yeah,
a cigarette
yeah.
is.
No, a cigarette
being
still
able to
gets you
smoke
high. It makes you
something
feel something.
Yeah, for
You mean
sure.
you just wanted like the oral fixation, dude?
I just wanted to smoke.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's how they get you.
a
It's
hot
a
lung-
mental
a
pause.
hot lung
dude.
massage?
You know how cool?
Hot lung
Yeah, a hot
massage?
lung massage, but also you get to like see an element in front of your face that doesn't normally appear, and you're creating it. I'm telling you, there's a fucking psychosomatic part
Bro.
behind that. Like
Yeah.
that's why I
Jesus
like
Christ.
to smoke blunts, is because it's like, dude. What?
Yeah.
Miracle.
There's no
cool.
way. There's blunt. I mean,
I'm a magician.
nowadays that weed is like so crazy. The blunts I used to smoke back in the day. There's no way that you smoke blunts like
Yeah,
that.
swag. Get the swag.
You
No.
get swag?
No.
What the fuck? And you smoke the whole blunt?
Yes.
You guys are just.
And music, baby.
Somebody vouch on
these-
this. I will sit down and smoke an entire
No,
blunt
Burt.
filled with
I'll
the
try
best
and do
weed.
it with you. I'm just saying, like.
I will.
That
I'm gonna invite
fucking-
y'all to
That's
my
my
show.
Anton.
What's this show called? I'm gonna take the name. I'm gonna rip it off, and it's gonna be called Bluntersations.
It's called Oral Fixation, an obsession with true life tales.
Yeah, Bluntersation. Y'all are on. I'm gonna have my
do
own thing.
this.
Anton Central Track's gonna sponsor it. I know it's gonna happen.
We've been joking about filming one.
Medicine Man could easily
I mean,
have a
that's
fucking
what it
show
is.
called
filming one, that
Bluntersation.
70s show style, where the camera sits
Is in the middle.
and rotates out to everybody, and doing.
But you
a
never show
Growlersations.
it.
Well,
Like
that would-
there's just the smoke, the haze
That would
rising
be
from
the
the
way
floor.
that
In the garage style.
Growlersations-
Garage style.
That's how that
amazing.
Growlersations
Let's smoke
have
a
to be
cigar
done.
right now.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
It's a cigar. Yeah, you got any swishers?
I won't prove it. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could do like about 3 hits, and I'd be like, oh, I'm good. But
Bro.
that blunt is gonna take me to a different world. Listen to this voice, dude. This voice is amazing.
Don't
You like that?
Yeah.
You sound like.
Not like it?
No, you're cool. It just you sound
No.
like Brian Petrie, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna go out and sell some beer?
Yeah. You guys need beer?
My aunt has one of those famously raspy voices.
good voice.
You ever watch Frasier?
Missed it.
My aunt was Roz on Frasier. She has that like raspy.
I know who that
raspy,
character
like,
is. I've
smoker's-
seen it enough
raspy, like
times.
smoker's voice. And she was worried like professionally when she quit smoking. She was like, "Am I gonna lose like part of my iconic voice that
Paul's
I've
like that.
built my
Paul
career
Cawthon's
on?"
like that.
Yeah.
He's not like that, but you know, you can tell when he's about to get ready to do one, like a vocal take.
Yeah.
He has like his cigarette and like routine, because he's got this like fucking giant low voice.
Oh man, I went to Neil Fest at Granada. That was probably about a year ago.
I don't think I was at Neil
last
Fest.
fall.
I think I was actually out of town when that happened.
So Neil Fest.
Oh, wait.
Mike Schroeder put together.
Who else was there?
Neil Fest. Boz Skaggs and Boz's kid. It was all DFW artists doing.
And the gents,
Neil
did the
Young's
gents
stuff.
back
The
there?
gents were there. Leon showed up. Even
Wesley Geiger.
super famous Nora Jones. Like.
Oh, yeah, I was out of town.
DFW alumni were there.
That was for something. That was they were raising money for something, right?
Yeah, that was, I can't remember what the
Hurricane
charity
relief.
was, but no,
Was it?
I don't think it was Hurricane Relief. I think it was something.
Either way.
Anyways, it was a really cool thing. But that show was great. Neil Young music's great. Local musicians crushing it's great. I was up in Mike Schroeder's little little square hang spot that he's got up there in his
At the
little
Granada?
box. Yeah. And,
Never been there.
And Paul Cawthon was the first person that filled that room with fucking voice.
Oh yeah, dude. His
There
voice
was
is
3
huge.
or 4 musicians that played some Neil Young songs, and there was some
Yeah.
music, and then Paul came out, and like, bam! Everybody just stopped talking and like turned and looked, and
That's my brother, dude.
he filled that room.
He does that everywhere he goes, my
Oh
brother.
yeah, it's impressive.
insane.
He played one of my buddy's barbecue joints down in San Antonio.
I
the
know about
Pigpen.
this. I know about
Chris
this.
Conger, my friend,
Yep.
runs Pigpen down in San Antonio, cool barbecue joint. And
Working on his record right now.
I was randomly I was there just saying hey to my buddy, and Paul Cawthon signs were hanging up in there. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's awesome.
He's everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
His crew does good work. That's family. Family. Cheers up.
Let's do this.
Is this the end of
We
it?
got a lot left. You wanna give me some?
Nope.
Okay. Cheers. Guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Jason Burt, for taking the time out of your schedule to slam some double IPA with us. Woo. That one slowed me down a little bit. Doesn't normally do that. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Share it. Share with your friends. I'd love to get to 1,000 views so I can start to make my channel youtube.com/Growlersations instead of a bunch of random letters and numbers. But you have to prove to YouTube that people actually give a shit. So please go out there and do it. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jason. And thank you, Anton, for making it happen. And we are out.